Good morning, students. Now, in this chapter 9, Financial Management, we are going to start the new topic, Fixed and the Working Capital. So, first of all, I am going to explain you fixed capital. Fixed capital, it means fixed assets refers to those assets which remain in the business for a period more than 1 year. For example, plant and machinery, land, building, furniture, etc. So such assets are not meant for sale. So fixed capital is the money invested in the fixed assets which is to be used over a long period of time. So fixed capital is meant for meeting permanent or long-term needs of the business. So after the meaning, now the next thing is factors affecting requirement of fixed capitals. So what are the factors which affects to the requirement of the fixed capital? First of all is the nature of business. Nature of business, that means the nature of business determines the amount of fixed capital to a large extent. For example, a manufacturing organization which requires heavy investment in fixed assets like land, building, plant, machinery, etc. On the other hand, like a trading concern, it requires relatively much less investment in the fixed assets as compared to the manufacturing unit. So, nature of the business is the most important factor for the requirement of the fixed capital. Now, the second factor is the scale of operation. That means firms which operate at the large scale, they require the larger amount of the fixed capital as they need heavy and the bigger machinery and the equipments. And the firms which are operating at the small scale, obviously they need relatively lesser fixed capital as compared to the large scale industries. Now, the third factor is the choice of technique. That means production technique which is adopted by the business, it also influences the requirements of the fixed capital. Like companies which are using the capital intensive techniques, obviously they required more fixed capital as the large investment is needed in the plant and machinery. And the companies or the industries, those who are using the labor intensive techniques, so these enterprises need lesser fixed capital because they require more of the labor than the capital techniques, capital consuming equipments. Now, the fourth factor for the fixed capital is the technology upgradation. Companies in which assets become like obsolete sooner, that means depreciate soon, it requires higher fixed capital to purchase such assets. For example, like computer based companies, they need more fixed capital due to the continuous advancement in the computer technology. And if the companies, those who uses assets which are less affected by the technological upgradation, example in the case of a furniture based companies, so they need lesser fixed capital. Now, the next factor for the fixed capital, that is the growth prospect. Companies with the growth plans in the future, they need more fixed capital as more investment in the plant and machinery is required to increase the production capacity. And the companies with the less or the no possibility of the growth, they need the less fixed capital as compared to the growth companies, those who want the more growth. Now, the next one is the diversification. Yes, diversification of operations also governs the fixed capital requirements. Like if a company chooses to diversify its operations, then it certainly needs more fixed capital. For example, if a textile company starts electronic business, then it will require the additional fixed capital to invest in the land, building, plant, machinery, etc. For so many things they need. So that means diversification is also most important factor for the fixed capital. Seventh one is the financing alternatives. Yes, fixed assets can be either purchased outrightly, that means on the cash basis, or can be acquired on the lease basis or on the hire basis. Like company which purchases on the cash basis, they require more fixed capitals. Or on the other hand, the companies using financial and the leasing facilities, they need less fixed capital as assets can be purchased on the installation scheme, and sometimes the companies usually hire the machines as and when they required. So this is also important factor for the fixed capital. And the last factor for the fixed capital, that is the level of collaboration. Yeah, if an organization collaborates with another organization, then both the organizations can share each other facilities. So such collaboration or joint venture, it will reduce the need of the fixed capital for each one of the participating organization. For example, some banks jointly establish ATMs at the different locations. Now, the second type of the capital is the working capital. Now, first of all, understand the meaning of the working capital. Working capital refers to that part of the total capital which is required for holding current assets. So, it may also be defined as excess of the current assets over the current liabilities. Right? And current assets, what does it mean? Current assets refers to those assets which are expected to get converted into cash or cash equivalents within a period of 1 year. So, investment in the current assets helps in day-to-day operations of the business, and even they provide liquidity to the business also, and they also contribute less to the profits as compared to the fixed assets. Now, example of the current assets, just like cash in hand, marketable securities we want, like finished goods inventory we want, debtors have, work in progress, raw materials, so many things are there. So current liabilities refers to those liabilities which are payable within a period of 1 year only, like bill payment we have to do, creditors, outstanding expenses, advances, other things are also there. Now, types of the working capital. There are the two types of the working capital. First is gross working capital, that means GWC. So it refers to the investment in all the current assets taken together. That means gross working capital is equals to sum total of all current assets. Okay. Now the second one is the net working capital. That means it refers to excess of current assets over current liabilities. So that means net working capital is equals to current assets minus current liabilities. So net working capital, it may be positive, it may be negative. So net working capital is positive when total current assets are greater than the total current liabilities, and net working capital is negative when total current assets are lesser than the total current liabilities. Now, the factors affecting the working capital. So first one is the nature of business. Yes, first of all, the basic nature of the business influences the amount of the working capital required. Like a trading concern requires less working capital as there is no processing. That means sales are generally made immediately upon receipts of material. Similarly, a service firm also needs less working capital as it sells more on the cash basis and do not have to maintain the inventory. But on the other hand, a manufacturing industries, they needs a substantial working capital as raw material needs to be converted into finished goods before any sales become possible. Now, the second one, scale of operations. Scale of operations, that means the firms which operate at a large scale, they require more working capital as their inventory level, their debtors, etc. are generally high. And the firms, those who are operating at a small scale, obviously they needs the less working capital due to the low level of activity. Now, the third one is the business cycle fluctuations. Yes, the requirements of the working capital is also depends upon the nature of the business cycle. That means during the boom conditions, more working capital is needed because the company is required to produce more to meet the increasing demand. And during the depression or the recession time, less working capital is needed due to fall in the volume of sales. Now next one is the seasonal factors. Yeah, if the firm is operating in the seasonal goods and the services, then the working capital will require, then the capital requirement will also fluctuate with the change in the season. Like more will be needed during the peak season as compared to the other seasons. For example, just like wool and textile industries, they needs more working capital during the winters as compared to the summers. Now, the next one is the technology and the production cycle. Yes, production cycle is the time span between receipts of the raw materials and the conversion into a finished goods. So in case of the long production cycle, raw material along with the labor and the overheads, it gets tied up for a long period. So in such case, more working capital is required. And on the other hand, the firm with the shorter operation cycle, they can manage with the less working capital. Now the next factor is the credit allowed. Yes, credit policy of the company determines the average time period needed to collect the sales proceeds. So it depends on the competition level and the credit worthiness of the customer. That means a company following the liberal credit policy needs more working capital due to more debtors, and in case of a strict credit policy, the less working capital is needed. Now the next factor is the credit availed. Credit availed, that means the requirements of the working capital also depends on the credit facilities which is enjoyed by the company. Like a company enjoying liberal credit facilities from its suppliers will need less working capital, and if the company avails the strict credit terms, that means suppliers are giving only short period credit, then the company will require the more working capital. Now the next factor is the operating efficiency. Yes, operating efficiency of a company also determines the requirements of the working capital. A firm with a higher degree of the operating efficiency, that means these companies requires the less working capital because now they have to invest less in the stock or for the debtors. And on the other hand, less efficient firm needs more working capital because they have to do the more investment in the inventory and debtors. Next one is the availability of the raw material. Next factor. Yes, if the raw material is readily available and there is a less time gap between placing an order and the actual receipt of the material, then the less working capital will be needed as less stock has to be maintained. But if the business do not have easy access of the raw material, then more working capital is required to maintain the stock. Next one is the level of competition. Yes, the extent of the competition also influences the working capital needs. More working capital is required in highly competitive market as firm needs to maintain higher level of inventory to supply the goods on the time, and competition may also force them to extend the liberal credit terms also. So in case of the less competition, firms can manage with the less working capital, but if there is a high level of the competition, then they have to maintain the more working capital. Now the next one is the growth prospects. Yes, the firms which have the sufficient possibilities of the growth, they require the more working capital to increase the scale of production. So the companies with the less growth prospects, they can work with the less capital also. Now the last factor is the inflation. So change in the price level also affect the requirements of the working capital. Like rising prices would necessitate the use of the more funds to maintain the existing level of the production and the sales. And if the company can raise their prices proportionately, then there will be no serious problem regarding the working capital. So further rise in the price do not have a uniform effect on all the commodities. It is likely that some firms may not be affected at all. So these all are the factors for the working capital.